10 Facts about Nuclear Weapons. 1. The Nuclear Club is the name given to the group of countries that possess nuclear weapons. Today the Nuclear Club includes the United States, since 1945, Russia, originally the Soviet Union, since 1949, Great Britain, since 1952, France, since 1960, China, since 1964, India, since 1974, Pakistan, since 1998, North Korea, since 2006, and Israel. Although the country's leadership does not comment on the availability of nuclear weapons in Israel, according to experts, the state has them since the late 1960s and early 1970s. Moreover, several NATO countries, Germany, Italy, Turkey, Belgium, Netherlands and Canada, and US allies, Japan and South Korea, host American nuclear weapons. 2. A nuclear suitcase is a portable strategic defense activation device. The leaders of all countries possessing nuclear weapons have such devices. In Russia it is called the Chaget subscriber complex of the Automated Control System of Strategic Nuclear Forces Kazbek. Chaget is activated only after receiving a signal of a missile attack. The suitcase contains communication equipment with the General Staff and command of the Strategic Missile Forces. Roughly speaking, it is a telephone, but the information is not transmitted by voice, but by encrypted symbols. The suitcase is activated by pressing the notorious nuclear button, and spontaneous pressing is excluded. 3. There are about 17,000 nuclear warheads in the world today. The US and Russia account for 90% of this number. At the height of the Cold War, the American nuclear arsenal totaled 31,000, and the Soviet arsenal had 40,000 warheads. Only 3 countries, the US, Russia and China, have nuclear triads, i.e. nuclear-armed strategic aviation, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and nuclear-powered underwater missile carriers. 4. South Africa is the only country that has voluntarily agreed to destroy its nuclear weapons. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Kazakhstan, Ukraine and Belarus, on the territory of which there were part of the USSR nuclear weapons, handed them over to the Russian Federation in accordance with the Lisbon Protocol to the START-I Treaty of 1991. Only 5 countries, India, Pakistan, Israel, North Korea, and South Sudan, refused to join the 1968 Non-Proliferation Treaty. 5. From 1965 to 1988 the USSR conducted over 100 nuclear explosions for peaceful purposes. They were used for such activities as creation of underground reservoirs and storages, detection of mineral deposits, as well as to extinguish fires at gas fields. The US carried out a similar program from 1957 to 1973, 27 explosions. Both projects were not without accidents. At least 3 explosions in the USSR were accompanied by contamination of territories, and there are several zones of radioactive contamination in places of American explosions to this day. 6. On October 30, 1961, the Soviet Union tested the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful explosive in the history of mankind. This thermonuclear aerial bomb was developed by a group of nuclear physicists under the direction of academician Igor Kurchatov. It was dropped over the archipelago Novaya Zemlya by a specially prepared bomber Tu-95. The explosion energy was from 57 to 58, 6 megatons, 1,400 times more than in Hiroshima and Nagasaki taken together. The impact was felt at a distance of 1,000 kilometers from the epicenter. 7. Under the Strategic Arms Reduction and Limitation Treaty, START-I, Russia have the number of Voyevode, or Satan missiles, as they were called in the West, the most powerful and heavy missiles in the world. There are 46 missiles left in the arsenal. In a few years, the Voyevode will be replaced by the new Sarmat missile system. It will have not 10, but 15 nuclear warheads with a capacity of 150 to 300 kilotons. And this missile will be able to fly much farther than the Voyevode, to 17,000 kilometers against 11,000. 8. In 1980 the Central Command Post of the Strategic Missile Forces of the USSR Armed Forces was visited by an inspection. The general on duty was asked what he would do if, after the command to launch the missiles, the combination lock of the safe with the combat documents would not open after 3 attempts. The general answered that in such a case he kept a sledgehammer behind the safe, and would use it to break the lock. The majority of commission members were indignant with such answer. However, the Chief of General Staff Department persuaded them that the availability of the sledgehammer as a reserve was justified. Then the sledgehammer was legalized, and since then it is obligatory to have it at the post of the duty commander in each unit of the Strategic Missile Forces. 9. On the cover of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, the magazine founded by the creators of the first atomic bomb, from time to time a doomsday clock is published, showing without a few minutes midnight. The time left before midnight symbolizes the tense international situation, and midnight itself is the moment of nuclear Armageddon. Last year, scientists moved the hands on the doomsday clock to 23:57. This is the closest position to nuclear midnight in the past 3 decades. Less distance to the cataclysm was only in 1953, then the clock showed 23:58. 10. Broken arrows is the U.S. code for serious incidents involving atomic warheads that do not pose an immediate threat of starting a nuclear war. The U.S. Defense Department currently recognizes 32 such incidents. One of the loudest occurred in January 1966 off the Spanish coast of the Mediterranean Sea. A B-52 bomber with 428 Malawian Quachas hydrogen bombs on board, and a U.S. Air Force KC-135 refueling plane collided while refueling in the air. One bomb fell at the mouth of the river and did not detonate. The other collapsed into the sea and was found months later. 2 bombs exploded near the village of Palomares. Their fragments, together with plutonium dust, made a radioactive rain at the site of the fall and turned a 2.5-kilometer radius area into an exclusion zone. Later, a fisherman who helped find the bomb which fell in the Mediterranean Sea received a reward of several $100,000 from the American government.